again, it just tells the story of it's the evil and the ugliness of people's hearts these days is everywhere.
This is Franky Rose's Think Tank. Here's your host, Franky Rose.
Hey guys, so P. Diddy's house is getting raided. Let's check this out. I don't think there's any sound.
The rapper himself, he has denied any wrongdoing in any of all this. So there are two sides, of course, to this as this all plays out. But it is interesting that these raids happening at the same time. According to TMZ, a raid of his Miami home is happening right now, as well as now we're looking at the live pictures of what's going on in Holmby Hills at this mansion right here, all connected to Sean Combs. So again, until we find out further word as to what exactly they're searching for and why, we continue to look at the procedures taking place regarding this raid that's being conducted by Homeland Security. You have support from local law enforcement officials as well. We saw from the ground shots, you see multiple agencies there a part of all of this, and they have a number of resources on hand with a drone flying up top, as well as they had ladders taking a closer look at certain parts of the property. And so they are looking at every nook and cranny they need to in terms of why they're investigating this home and property. So clearly this is going to take a while. And as Haley mentioned, with her shot down on the ground right there, more people are coming to your area, Haley.
Yeah, I would say it's mostly media at this point. We were the first ones here on scene, but yeah, since there's probably a dozen different media agencies. Yeah, it looks like his homes on both coasts are being raided. We still have not gotten word on exactly where P. Diddy is, if he is in fact in New York right now or in Los Angeles. And of course, yeah, we haven't seen him here in Holmby Hills. This is right off of Sunset and Beverly Glen. And it all unfolded, I'd say, about 30 minutes ago. They're at his home here. They're also at his home in Miami. Of course, it's a little bit calmer, I would say, than it was about 20 minutes ago when it all happened. The guns that were drawn earlier have been since put away. Looks like they just put away their drone, but of course doing a thorough job of checking the home for any kind of details that they can come up with related to these allegations against sex trafficking. As you said, Sandra, there's several lawsuits against him for these allegations, all of which he has denied. So we will have to wait and see. Of course, and everybody's interested in the details of what how he's connected to these latest allegations.
And from your vantage point,
the very latest.
Yeah, from your vantage point, Haley, does it look like some authorities are leaving this scene right now?
Right.
They're done or not? Is that not the case?
Can't see them being done.
No, it looks like more are coming. I think what you're seeing is just the vehicles moving to a different location. We're kind of at the bottom of the hill. But if you go up a little bit farther, some of the vehicles that you saw down here earlier have since kind of gone to the other side of the hill. This is obviously a very prestigious neighborhood. I said earlier, Humphrey Bogart's former house, I think, is next door to P. Diddy's. The 200 block here of Mapleton and Holmby Hills off of Sunset near Beverly Glen. So the vehicles have basically just moved forward. You're seeing a lot more of those law enforcement officers from the Department of Homeland Security, though, back here on the street in Mapleton since they've come out of the home after they've done their thorough investigating inside that beautiful home belonging to P. Diddy, to Sean Combs. So I don't think they have any intention, Sandra, on going anywhere anytime soon. And overhead, you can see law enforcement helicopters and, of course, Stu up there in Skyfox.
Thank you so much, Haley, for that perspective on the ground right there in front of that Holmby Hills mansion. Stu, up in Skyfox, it looks like, yes, there are some more law enforcement, but in different attire. Should I say suits instead of body armor?
Wow,
Definitely,
you
and you know,
guys.
and we all know how that works. The suits are going to be the investigators and probably the ones that are running the show. And again, I still think that they are just waiting for that green light for them to be allowed to make their way inside the property and to make their way to the areas that I would venture to say that they probably are pretty specific. I don't think they're just going in randomly. And again, this is just a guess. I don't think they're going in randomly, just going through, everybody's stuff inside there. They probably have an area that they know or an office that they're going to be looking into or some computers that they might want to physically get their hands on. And that's what they're waiting for right now to make their way inside this property. This, like you said, very beautiful home out there in the Homely Hills area. And they just waiting to get the all clear to allow them inside while these officers that we see right there in the tactical gear, well, their job is to make sure that everything is safe for them to go in. Now, they don't probably and again, I just want to be clear. It's like nobody's thinking that there's booby traps or some kind of sniper inside the home. That's not what they're thinking at all. It's probably more along the lines of they want to make sure that everybody is outside of the home because they don't want to have somebody stepping out or coming out later on and, surprising or catching people off guard. That's not what they want. And right now you can see uh, Sandra, you've been saying there's a large number of people out here. I would venture to say, as far as the officers go, I would probably put this group closer to 100. Not just what we're seeing right here. This is just one group of many that have made their way out here to this Homely Hills area. And as far as the suits that we were talking about, that's part of the group right there. But there's some other ones as well, younger ones that were basically leading the charge. And that's them right there, actually. They perfect timing. And it looks like they're making their way over towards the home. They might be the first ones to make their way in to start that investigation process or figure out where we're going to look, what we're looking for, and then later on the suits will make their way in as well. But like you said, is going to be a very long process out here, and this is just the very, very beginning. And the folks that they had taken into custody, they've moved them out of the area right now. And again, wouldn't say that they are arrested. We don't know that for a fact. They took them into custody. A few of them still had cuffs on. Some of them didn't. So maybe this was a division of, these are people that we know work here. These are people that may be associated with Sean Combs. Or Bad Boy Entertainment. So it's one of those type of situations. And until they know who they are, they're just going to keep them in custody and possibly just let them go later on. And I don't believe the word arrested has been used out here as of yet, but again, still very active situation, and of course that is a huge house,
Oh, you
and they've got a lot of
guys.
rooms to clear
I'm
before they
sorry. I
allow
just
those
had food
investigators in.
delivered.
We talk about the process of bringing this many law enforcement officials to the scene to have a raid like this and conduct
Thank
a raid
you.
and make entry into a Homely Hills mansion that's owned by a prominent celebrity and their business. So clearly, this is something that doesn't happen just overnight. Law enforcement officials do have to have their evidence ready. They have to make sure every T is crossed in order to make entry into a home like this for an investigation. So when we talk about and see these kinds of raids happen or having them be conducted, it kind of shows that they
It's
do have
about
enough
bloody
evidence
time.
that their investigation is to a certain point where they have made a search warrant and they've gotten all of the evidence they need to have a search warrant, that they have to establish that a crime was possibly committed and there's evidence of probable cause and a crime that has taken place. So all of these things, they have to meet a threshold before law enforcement
We've
can just
been
come together
waiting.
like this and approach a property and make entry. So we're seeing that here at Homely Hills and also in Miami, where they are searching Sean Combs' Miami home as well. So again, this doesn't just happen overnight. This is a process that they've been working on for quite some time to make sure that they have enough evidence to be able to conduct a raid like this, especially with so many law enforcement agencies involved, investigators involved, and you see just personnel involved on location right there. And you do see a number of people. This is going to be an active situation for quite some time. Again, we don't know what they're looking for. We don't know what the interest is right now. We can only presume that it is part of a sex trafficking investigation. Those are multiple lawsuits that Sean Combs have been facing this year alone. allegations that he denies, but clearly this could be all part of the process here. But again, law enforcement does just not go in willy-nilly into a home and conduct a raid like this unless they get the necessary evidence they need to get that search warrant to acquire entry as well. So if we could take a look from Haley's point of view, it does seem like there are more individuals gearing up, or maybe more investigators on the scene from the ground there, Haley.
Hey, Sandra. Yes, we're actually trying to get an interview lined up, obviously live with the Department of Homeland Security. We had a lady come down here just a minute ago and give her card. So trying to contact her so we can, of course, get some official details from her, because everything that we're getting is basically behind the scenes from our law enforcement sources here. So basically, we don't have anything new yet. We're still just waiting to kind of figure out exactly what happened. We know, of course, P. Diddy's homes on both coasts have been raided. You can see some more officers coming out of his property right now. Just trying to see if I could see the lady who we're hoping to get the interview with, and she's just messaging me back, so I've got to send her an email for the request first. So we're working on that to get you some more details. But yeah, it's still very active on scene, just more and more vehicles showing up. This is largely, most of the law enforcement officers here, Sandra, are of course the Department of Homeland Security, and then we also have LASD and LAPD here.
So we have been, I don't know, I have been waiting for this for a long time, even before Cassie came out. So I'm going to be interested if they show us what they pull out of this monstrosity of a place.
If I can get anything official on camera, we'll come back and let you know.
Definitely. I know what it's like on the ground right there. You're dealing with a lot of officials, trying to get some answers, trying to talk to people. And of course, it is very difficult to do two things at once. So we will let you get to work right there on the ground. Let's go up to Stu again. As I was mentioning the procedure of this, and you've covered so many of these types of stories, you've been overhead when these raids have happened. This isn't a process that just happens overnight. Clearly, they are looking for something. They have enough evidence, and they were able to get a search warrant before they could even do or conduct a raid like this.
Oh, you definitely, Sandra, and what you're talking about really kind of shows exactly what you're trying to point out, that this didn't just happen overnight. This wasn't just an accusation and they came and, knocked down the doors and started tearing up the house. This was something that's an ongoing investigation. Lawyers, attorneys, and district attorneys, they all have to sign off on this. They have to look this over. Judges have to make that decision as well, and nobody wants to be on the end of a wrongful seizure. So of course they needed to show evidence that there is a reason for this type of force and for these officers to make their way into this home. And then again, of course, the world we live in today, all of these officers that are showing up, they all know that we are everybody's under a watchful eye nowadays. So they made every effort to do this as quickly and as less destructive as possible. We watched them trying to get through one of those side gates. That pedestrian gate was giving them a little bit of an issue, but in the end they got in there, and after that they made their way in very quickly. We didn't see any doors being smashed or things getting kicked in. It was basically a lot of opening up and just letting that garage door, somebody got in there and they opened up that
traffic
and or
stuff.
possibly the people inside were curious what was going on, and they opened up that
That's
garage
what I think,
door. But
Maxie.
again, the forceful entry part of it, it really truly was just in a little bit here in that
I
side
don't
gate.
think so, but
Everything
maybe.
else was very quick and with etiquette would be the best way to say it. Actually, they went in and they just did what they needed to do. And again, the reason why they're still there, I can tell you, it's not like a television show where they're pulling out drawers and dumping out clothes and just trashing the place. They just want to make sure that there are no other people inside that building that may still be scared, hiding, or having a problem. And then as soon as that word is given, which I'm sure is going to come shortly, because we already saw a couple of the groups making their way in, less armed. So they're making their way in. They're going to start looking for, and of course, even in that the warrant, they're going to have a list of things that they are able to look at, able to take. It isn't just a random search. They actually have to go in and actually find things that they believe have information or evidence that could create a guilty or innocent situation for Sean Combs. So at any rate, this is still very ongoing, very preliminary, but again, we do see a large force out there, which, like you're trying to say, or what I believe you did say, is that this is a warranted search. And of course, they are
I would
here, and they are
say,
definitely looking for specific pieces of information. What they are, we don't know. We may never know.
oh, I think we have a pretty good idea. I mean, we've heard multiple times what has gone on in these places. And, somewhere in there's got to be some type of truth.
But right now, that search is definitely ongoing.
Yeah, you said it. I mean, we've covered so many of these different types of raids. Obviously, not always at a celebrity mansion like this in Holmby Hills, but clearly sometimes you see them having to forcefully enter a property and seize evidence, and it doesn't always go so smoothly. And it was, in fact, very smooth the way they gained entry into this property. And after they figured out that side entrance, they were able to make entry. But it's not like they show in the movies, as you mentioned, Stu, right? They weren't battering down doors and destroying property. This is very methodical, and in terms of many stories we've covered like this, it was a very easy entry, and they were able to access the property and get on site. So clearly, they're ready for anything, whatever they're going to be met with. You don't know, and that is why they make sure that
Lordy,
they
lordy.
are safe in numbers, that they're armored, and that is why you see such a
I
big
would
force
think,
out there, because you never know what kind of emotion you're going to be.
I think so, Dandy. I think that's what it's all about. I mean, this stuff's been going around and going around and I mean, maybe Tupac. I don't think, but I mean, what the hell do I know? I'm just like nobody. Pretty interesting.
Met with.
Definitely, and emotion is really what plays a lot of it, and that's one of the things that we were talking about. Is right now that was the gate where they were having all that trouble. They're actually looking at that actual door and propping it open, but that was the door that was giving them trouble. And we were I was trying to figure out if that is actually maybe like a private entrance for that back house. It does actually look like it. It seems like if you're staying there, that's how you get in and out without going through the actual house itself. But you can see they still have personnel there on scene. Every house, there's 3 properties that I would say on this big piece of property. They all have some sort of somebody there, just making sure that there isn't anything being taken or anything moving in and out. Out and or another person in that area, but that main house, there's still
I did it
number of
again.
folks.
I did it again. I was saying that it doesn't matter who you are. If you're a predator, you're dirt. Nobody cares about you. They want to see you go down. This is just, I think the guy's dirt. Personal opinion.
Said that the like armored personnel that we've seen go in have not seen come out, but there's some of those ones that are not wearing the gear, and those are that first group that made their way in. They were here originally. They came with the armored trucks. They did not make their way into the property. They waited outside, and now they are actually making their way to that front door, which shows you that their progress is being made. And of course, we were keeping an eye on the as we call them, and it is what they are, the suits down there. I'm sure those are the ones that are pretty much running the show, or where all the evidence is going to go to in the end. They are still outside, so that shows you that they're going to be waiting. I would venture to say when
Yeah.
they find something, those are the guys that are going to make their way in and actually
Yeah.
looking at and taking things from this home. But right now, that's still that process. I wouldn't even think has actually even started.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's going to take a lot of time. That is a huge mansion to begin with. And then it depends on what they're looking for. It could be as small as a hard drive or as big as boxes and boxes full of evidence or information they're trying to collect and gather. And where all of that information is also the tricky part. I mean, think about going into a stranger's home. You don't know where they put things. And so it could be very.
It's been crazy, the stuff this guy's been accused of lately. Like crazy. Essays all over the place. Males, females, kids. Oh, it's like Eben Monster of the hip hop. Or is that what this is called? Whatever the hell this toad is. It's just like, oh yeah. Yeah, go get him. He's a POS. Doesn't matter how much money you have. You're not allowed to do these things.
Very hidden. So this whole process, it could take a lot of time in terms of them finding what they made entry for. So this is a methodical, lengthy process. And again, this is taking place right here in Holmby Hills, as well as his Miami home. And I'm sure law enforcement officials from both sides in Miami and LA are certainly talking to each other as they go through this as well. But still no sign of Sean Combs himself. We don't know where he is. It's not clear if they're looking for him. He may be in New York, as Haley was mentioning on the ground there. But clearly, this was in all a very peaceful raid as they made entry, and right now as they are making their way in and out of the property as they conduct their search. But a search that is just beginning, as you see those suits, the investigators taking their time, making sure everything is done properly and methodically in terms of what they're looking for at this point. Again, we have a lot of questions that we just don't know the answers to at this point. We do have someone on the line right now, Hal Kemper. Thank you so much for joining us. And if you can make light of what we're looking at in terms of Homeland Security making entry into the Holmby Hills mansion of Sean Combs.
Sandra, this is a Homeland Security Investigations that appears to be on site. What they're probably looking for is, well, I should say in general, they look at human trafficking and sex trafficking being a component of that. And of course, there's been some rather big civil suit stuff that's taken place, but also the New York case where the statute of limitations basically had been rescinded, allowing them to look back many years in this case. Part of it was there have been allegations that he was drugging young women, so that there was which certainly implies that it was rape that had taken place at some point. But I think what HSI is probably looking at is the interstate aspects of it, if there was any online activity that could have taken place. And that's usually where HSI would have a jurisdictional interest. Homeland Security Investigations being part of the Department of Homeland Security, looking at the interstate side, mostly online, and whatever took place across state lines. And of course, he travels all over the place. So I'm sure they're looking at him potentially transporting women around the country, and whether that was tied to.
Exactly what I was thinking. They've got the feds there. They got the big boys. They're coming for you, Diddy.
A larger criminal activity.
Yeah, definitely Homeland Security involved in any interstate, as you mentioned, and international criminal activity here. So what exactly do you think everyone is looking for at this point? We saw such a large number of law enforcement make entry.
Well, it's a combination of both local and federal. And from what I understand, the local law enforcement has the specific lead at each one of these locations, with the federal investigators coming in with them in concert. What they're probably looking for is any evidence that they can gather. Certainly any images, pictures, video, anything online. I've no doubt that they're going in and gathering up any electronic media, to include any laptops, any flash drives, anything that he might have that might support whatever allegations, whatever reasonable suspicion that they have that led to these search warrants. You know, they just to get a search warrant like this requires
I like it.
rather a certain substantial legal barrier has to be, or legal argument or legal litmus test has to be.
I have to tell you, I mean, it's been pretty somber looking for Sebastian. Just finding Riley, it's been a little bit tough, but this here makes me smile. I mean, this is one of the biggest, in my personal opinion, one of the biggest predators out there. Boom. Right,
just to get them to sign off, particularly knowing with somebody with means like this, that if they go into their home, they're going to be met with some very capable lawyers on the defendant's part to challenge what was ever done, and everything they do there is going to be challenged. So you can imagine, not only did they have to work with the district attorney and potentially assistant U.S. attorneys in arranging this, but they also are being very careful on how they're gathering any evidence, realizing that just about everything they do on site will potentially be challenged in court by his attorneys.
Absolutely. And speaking of his attorneys, we did reach out for comment. We have not yet heard back. Obviously, we want to hear his side. For Sean Combs' part, he has denied any allegations regarding sex trafficking and any investigation into that. But yeah, this could take a lot of time in terms of collecting that hard drive and flash drives and any computers they may find. Like I was mentioning before, Hal, it's very difficult to know where someone would have that or would hide that if they were trying to hide evidence. And we're looking at a big mansion here. Before we get back to you, Hal, let's go to Haley on the ground there.
Hey, Sandra. Yes, we just got that statement from the Department of Homeland Security that I was trying to get for you guys about 10 minutes ago. It doesn't say a whole lot, but it says this is attributed to Homeland Security Investigations. Earlier today, Homeland Security Investigations New York executed law enforcement actions as part of an ongoing investigation with assistance from HSI Los Angeles, HSI Miami, and our local law enforcement partners. We will provide further information as it becomes available. So nothing really that we haven't already told you. Here on the scene, on the ground, a lot of the law enforcement officers with Homeland Security have gone up the hill. You can see one of those big command vehicles coming out, one of those police vehicles. In the meantime, behind us, several of his friends, they've identified themselves as, have been trying to get through the crime scene to get to the house. But of course, LAPD not letting them through. We've tried to get comment from them on camera to find out if they have any more information about what's going on, but they haven't been able to they don't want to provide us any information, I should say. And just in case you're just joining us, we have homes of P. Diddy being raided on both coasts, Miami and his home here in Holmby Hills.
So, Haley, just to clarify, in that statement, it didn't mention Sean Combs, correct? Or anything?
It doesn't, but we have confirmation from multiple law enforcement sources that this does involve Sean Combs or P. Diddy. But no, this statement, I'll read it one more time, says earlier today, Homeland Security Investigations New York executed law enforcement actions as part of an ongoing investigation with assistance from both HSI Los Angeles, HSI Miami, and our local law enforcement partners.
All right.
We'll provide further information as it becomes available. Of course, we're trying to get them to talk to us on camera, but they said, the lady in particular who sent me the statement says she's not allowed to.
Thank you so much. Yeah, not really clarifying a whole lot, though, but clearly understandable because right now, maybe they're not in position to divulge any more information. So let's bring in Hal Kemper here again from Homeland Security. Thank you so much for your expertise in all this. I don't know if you heard that statement.
So how long is it going to take them to go through this monstrosity of a house? And two of them. I'm surprised he doesn't have places And he probably does in other countries. But yeah, this has made my day.
But didn't really say anything except that an investigation is underway in Miami and here. So clearly not stating who it involves or what the charges are.
It doesn't, and they might be crime scenes. I should clarify, I'm not from Homeland Security, but I work in Homeland Security, and I've worked with Homeland Security investigations over many years. Very familiar with not only the agency, but also a lot of the individuals, a lot of the people who work there, to include here in Los Angeles, especially. What they're probably looking at are the two residences, one in New York, one in Los Angeles. And I haven't seen the documentation, but if it doesn't name Sean Combs by name, it's probably because there's been allegations that criminal activity had taken place tied to sex trafficking at these locations. So what they're doing is they're looking at the locations themselves and investigating them as potential crime scenes. And of course, with that, I'm sure the scope is such that they can look just about anywhere, gather up any materials. They're probably gathering up any electronic materials. They're probably doing things like imaging the place, taking a lot of pictures and stuff that may be used later. Could be in reference to what witnesses say on the stand, that they may look at various pictures of the locations themselves to help refresh their memory while they're talking about various activities that may have taken place or alleged to have taken place. So there's a lot of reasons why they might not focus on him per se. Also, there's another thing too, is he runs a fairly large organization. The fact that they don't name him might mean that they're looking at other activities that could have taken place within his immediate, entourage or his organization that involve these properties. So one can't rule out anything at this point because we don't know a lot.
Sure. And obviously, this is just their statement to the press at this point. So what the actual legal documents say and what the statement they gave us is very, very different. Let's be clear. So we're sometimes, not privy to all of those details and information until it becomes available at a later date. But you were mentioning the whole search process. We are seeing so many law enforcement officials, investigators, and this is basically 3 properties on this entire, or 3 homes, I should say, buildings on this entire property in Holmby Hills we're talking about. How long is it going to take for them to go through it? Do they have a time limit? I mean, essentially, some people are going to come back into the home, right, at some point. So how does that all play out?
I'm sure if you were to ask them, they'd say it's going to take as long as it takes. These are huge properties. You can imagine looking through one home takes a lot of time, but when you have 3 very large buildings with a lot of different rooms, various different levels on those homes. Also, they're going to be looking at every nook and cranny. They'll be looking anything that's subsurface in the home. They'll be looking in basically everywhere they can. They could be using a variety of sensor systems to find out if there's any hidden compartments, safes, things like that, and walls that aren't readily apparent. There could be a lot of different things they're looking for, and they may have dogs there too, looking for various different things as well. But they're probably looking for more where stuff may be held. I would imagine with that, and of course anything tied to any of the allegations. We don't know. But certainly the fact that they're there indicates that they probably had, some witnesses say that certain things happened or certain things were there when they were there. And they're probably trying to verify if those things are in fact there, if that what they were told is correct. So there's probably just a lot of things that they're working through, checking off a list of stuff. And by the way, they may be looking on the grounds themselves. There could be stuff that's not necessarily in the buildings that are on the grounds. And of course, they'd be looking at that as well. I imagine it's going to take quite some time with a property this big for them to work through all of the potential spaces and places where materials could be.
Thank you so much. We will have more on Fox 11 FM. So if we get information, we'll once again. And now we resume to our original program.
This is our family farm. And our third player is Zach.
What's that? They're stopping? Lordy. Let me see if I can find something else. How can they want to stop that? Like, what the hell's going on with freaking Diddy? This looks interesting. Let's look at this for a second.
Guys on the ground down there, the heavily armed officers that made their way inside, they actually are kind of just milling about or holding the perimeter, as it would be. The non-essential, you can see them making their way back over to these armored vehicles, probably doing a little debrief about what they saw. In any type of these situations, it really is, you know, you've got these armored officers that go in first, but I would venture to say the investigators or the people that know what they're
No volume? Isn't this something? Perfect. We got it at the same time, Dandy. Good job.
Yeah, right now we're at just under 3/4. We should be okay.
now early on. They took what we counted 6 people out of the home, out of this property. Now there's actually 3 buildings here. You've got the main house right there. Then you've got this other one that I would almost call a back house, or maybe the pool house or guest house. And then you have a smaller one that's actually behind some trees right over. I would almost venture to say that that one, again, I don't know. You know, who knows what they're using it for? I'm just venturing to guess. But you have another residence over here with a hot tub in the back. maybe that's actually on somebody that's living on site. That's a caretaker. I don't know, but
Me either.
they got in, and almost right out the box, they got 6 people in custody. All those people actually came out of not the Range Rover, not the Range Rover. That's the first thing they did. They opened up that gate, got in there, and they popped the doors on the Range Rover. They came out of there.
I think Suge Knight's out. I think he's out. I could be wrong, but I think
They came out of there. I don't know why. I know it's a garage. I have no information. I'm just talking about what we saw when we got here. And one by one, they took them, and everybody got cuffs to begin with, and then they started taking off the cuffs, and some were still cuffed. But arrested, I wouldn't use that word. I would say in custody. They had them over here. They were talking to them, taking pictures of them, just talking, and then they put them all in a vehicle, and they have since left the scene. Now, I don't know who they were. I can tell you, probably if it would have been Sean Combs, believe me, we would know that. Don't know who those folks were, caretakers, property management, who knows? I honestly could be the pool guy for all I know. But at any rate, we saw that earlier on. What's going on right now? Well, a number of those armored guys are still inside this home that you see here, the main building. And I got you on the IFB there if you're hollering at me. So they made their way in there, and it was one of those things. It's like, to talk about it on television is a little different than on the internet. One of the main concerns for law enforcement is in a situation like this. So let's say somebody's on that property. You know, who knows who this person is, but they see armed people coming in through the gates. They don't have any idea what's going on. They don't know that's law enforcement. They don't know that, for all they know, that could be robbers. And so somebody could be hiding in one of these rooms inside here, and that person also could possibly be armed. So that's kind of one of the reasons what's taking so long. They have to secure the building, is what I'm saying, because you don't want to have investigators doing their investigation in like 4 hours from now and have somebody kick open a door with a gun and start, like, who are you guys? Pop, pop, pop. You don't, and it sounds like I'm poking fun at it, but really, truly, that is the scenario that they're needing to avoid. So that was one of the reasons why it is taking so long. We also were talking about the whole legal ease that goes on about how this even happens. This isn't like somebody said, hey, I heard, Sean's got this and this and this and this, or Mr. Diddy or Mr. Combs, has got something going on, and they're just like, hey, let's mount up and ride. There was a lot going on before this actually happened. And this is also a coordinated raid. There's also, we understand that they raided his home in Miami as well. I have no idea what exactly they're looking for. I'll be very honest about that. I didn't even know that there was legal issues going on with Sean Combs. And so
where you been?
Don't have any of those kind of components. All I can tell you is right now, this is in the Holmby Hills area. That's his home that you see right there. And now it has a command post out front, and that command post belongs to Homeland Security. You have a number of armored vehicles, most of them belonging to Homeland Security. Got one there, a couple of them in the driveway as well. We did see one, I believe it was a sheriff's vehicle.
Unreal. And if the stories are true as to what that guy has been up to, bye-bye.
That has since left the area, but there's still a number of that Homeland Security officers out there. And I'm talking about the soldiers. I'm talking about the boots on the ground type of guys that are still here. And I would venture to say probably in the neighborhood of 40 to 50 of them. And then you also have younger guys, probably, investigators. And then you also have some suits that arrived eventually, and they all made their way inside that home. That's what's going on right now. Now that we have been talking about this, and I even feel, for me, it doesn't roll off my tongue at all.
That place is
this
huge.
Is all about sex trafficking, and I hear that just what but can't ever happen.
Jeez. That guy keeps cutting out. I'll go back when he's not going. Wow. Yep. Diddy's going down. Whoa. What are they doing? Wow. They're everywhere. Unreal, guys. Unreal. That place is just like unreal. It's huge. I don't know, James. They have not mentioned anything about his location yet.
So, house next. I heard that. I is left. Is he? No. No. Come on.
We're still cutting in and out. Can't say I know what's going on over here now. Brutal. So are all those buildings around there his too? All those outbuildings or? Company Pity Diddy. Puffy Combs. P. Diddy, Sean Combs, Diddy. Good God, man. It's a huge pool. I think I'm trying to find different views, but that's not. Not the kind of people I'd want checking out my house. Slightly uncomfortable. Media must be coming. Isn't that what that is? Is for media, that great big tower and setup? The P. Diddy dum diddy do. This is just something else. Did that just stop again? Looky, looky. Is that a cement truck? What on earth would that have to do with this? Or is it just happened to be on the road? Isn't this something? Wow. Rolling, rolling, rolling. See what else I can find. No, I don't know if this is, I'll have to put it up and see. Is that the same? Diddy, I think he did. Busted. Is this different? I think it might be. Let me put it up there next to the others. Miami home.
you for live on YouTube. Hey, YouTube, sorry about that. I did not know, and I don't know if they just came to us, but let's do some YouTubing if you guys would like. So if you guys, again, I don't know, and I have no internet, so I can't even really answer your questions or even find out where we've been or what's been going on. But definitely looking at a piece of property that was owned or is owned by P. Diddy or Sean Combs. I don't know him well enough. I'm going to call him Mr. Combs. And Bad Boy Entertainment is his production company. So apparently there is some sort of investigation ongoing involving him, and they had Homeland Security of all things come out here today in force, armored vehicles. These guys. House, and then you have a smaller one that's actually behind some trees right over. I would almost venture to say that one, again, I don't know. Who knows what they're using it for? I'm just venturing to guess. But you have another residence over here with a hot tub in the back. Maybe that's actually on somebody that's living on site. That's a caretaker. I don't know. But they got in, and almost right out the box, they got 6 people in custody. All those people actually came out of not the Range Rover, not the Range Rover. That's the first thing they did. They opened up that gate, got in there, and they popped the doors on the Range Rover. They came out of there. I don't know why. I know it's a garage. I have no information. I'm just talking about what we saw when we got here. And one by one, they took them, and everybody got cuffed
on the inside of the house, so that if somebody has a flash drive or something that they might want to flush down the toilet or otherwise remove from the residence or somehow hide, they have time to deal with it. These law enforcement officers have a plan, and they're executing a plan where they also want the element of surprise to be on their side.
Oh, I see. Okay, that makes sense. Being in the news, I think the last kind of federal raid in the public consciousness was the raid at Mar-a-Lago in South Florida back in August of 2022. And we saw that kind of all unfold as well. Of course, I'm not comparing these two situations or scenes by any means, but these were essentially, Nicole, raids that we all watched in real time. And so I think a lot of the American people and viewers became pretty well acquainted with how law enforcement does this. Now, let's talk about the probe itself. We're getting that from our sources at Fox 11, that this is an investigation regarding allegations of sex trafficking federally. Now, is that federal aspect important to this? Obviously, states have their own laws on the books when it comes to sex trafficking. But if the feds are looking into this, into homes associated with such a high-profile person, you just have to kind of make the leap that this is going to be a story for a very long time. What is so particular about the federal aspect of this?
Again, it's very likely that it is federal because they believe there was some element of crossing state lines with some of the conduct. And again, without seeing the warrant, if we don't see the warrant, we can't see the affidavit. We don't know exactly what the government is alleging occurred here. We're taking a guess based on some civil lawsuit information that this is probably what this is about. It's clearly a criminal investigation at this point. Because you see this law enforcement individuals making entry and conducting this search warrant at a minimum. We don't know if it's also an arrest warrant. And so it has to be that there's some interstate commerce or some crossing of state lines that was affected to make this a federal case. And the reality is that even though a person may have a peaceful reputation, I know nothing about Mr. Combs' reputation. Law enforcement needs to go in as if the situation could turn violent at any time, because these types of allegations are incredible.
Now I'm not sure what's going on with that sound, so we'll just go over here. That's a bad sound, I must say. Pop over here for a second. We've got options. That's the thing, Darren. That is the thing. If even half of the stuff that has been talked about in the last while is true, bye-bye. He needs to be gone. Yeah, I see Snake Island being the perfect habitat for a monster like this. Couldn't happen to a better person. Oh, are they?
Miami.
Maybe breaking up.
Think someone because
Go over here. Look at that place. Jesus, Lord Murphy. YouTube might not want to help me with this one. I have a funny feeling I won't get money. I won't get commercials. Just because this guy's a complete pig. They've already had me flagged. Let's see what this is. Nothing. Nothing burger. They're going to be going through absolutely everything. Yep. That's what I think, Nosy Rosie. I love that name, by the way. Yeah. This guy's a dickwad. Oh, Lordy. Darren Shank is no good. And randomness tube, no good. Zapping material, guys. Bye-bye. Yep. No more pets. Sorry about that. So 2 of his houses are being raided. 2 of them.
For the last, 3-4 months in unrelated cases. Now I would imagine that, their year has gotten so much more difficult. What lies ahead for them? How much harder is their job going to be, depending on whatever the charges are, whoever the defendants may be going forward?
They're just going to have a massive amount of information to sift through. And that's if the government.
There you go. We got both places there. Wow, guys, this is unreal. That's what I hear. That's what I hear. No pet trolls. We're not allowed to do that. Yeah, it is. It's both of these places are just monstrous. No volume on this, but we got an idea what's going on. Oh, look at them taking the boxes in. Yep, Tony, there's a lot of questions. As far as this guy goes, there's a lot of questions. He's been on the wrong side for a long, long time. What they found inside, I can just imagine it's going to take them like forever. Yeah, Clive was one of the last to see her. It was his party. And he knew she was unalive and just kept right on going. Oh, did we lose a feed? Look at them. Wonder where he is. Wonder if he's one of the ones that got arrested or if he's out of the country. Wow. He's a rapper. He's got one of the biggest production companies and has forever. forever and ever. And he's been a slime ball forever. Yeah, I think all of them. Bieber, absolutely. Usher, absolutely. Ludacris, right? I mean, there's so many with the different, with that, those alleged actions, right? Oh, did they? Isn't that interesting? Thanks, Johnny. I had no idea. Oh, there's a lot of chit chat about that as well. Like a lot. A lot of chit chat. Unreal. So 2 of his boys. I wonder where he is. Hanging out with young Miami? I don't know what to think of that situation either. They might, Chopper. If he doesn't plea. I could see him pleading. Yes, exactly, Tony. Exactly. I mean, Cassie was the final straw. When she came out, I mean, the flood doors just went psh. Do you know what? I'd be just as happy. I don't want to know any more about, I don't want to hear the graphic shite that he's accused of. I really, really don't. I'm fine bypassing that. Keep him locked up for the rest of his days and then let him burn below ground. If, in fact, all this is true, which my belief is, reading different things, watching different programs, I just don't think he's any good. I think he's a piece of shit. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Kim passed away. Cassie got away. I'm not sure if this one's California or not. They went into 2 of his places. Is this the California house? Unreal. Yeah, karma is real. Oh, yeah. It's Homeland Security in there. Yeah, Homeland Security. They mean business. I've been waiting for this to happen. I have. Can you imagine how many maids he's got? I mean, yeah. No, thank you. No, thank you. Exactly. Exactly. Just kind of bouncing around looking at his different properties. If he's only got 2, that's relatively surprising to me. Oh yeah, Cat Williams, right, Tony? Oh, I think he's done some bad things. Personally, right? Just personally. So this must be the Miami house. Oh, you would? Yeah. Yep, he did too. Tupac warned us about a lot of things. Yep, that's true too. That's what I've always heard. Oh, look at all the news crews now. Ooh, this one's interesting. Let's check this out. What they doing? I just have to turn off volume on the other ones. But what the hell are they doing there? Looky. Look at them all. Holy shite. Oh, thanks, Maxie. Yeah, I've been waiting for this. It was bound to happen. Where are the other 3 houses? I don't know about that. I only know of the 2, which surprised me that there's only 2, but hey, and welcome all the new subscribers. I really appreciate you. I hope you enjoy the channel and enjoy the chat. Got some great people that are in the chat. I thought he must have. Like, doesn't everybody? Oh, lordy, Tony. Lordy. I would think so. Like, don't all these guys with big bucks have to have a place in New York? I have no idea. Not a clue. Not a clue. There's a bunch of them. Oh, and the biggest way. Right? That's what I've heard as well. Tony. Lordy. I haven't seen them moving any yet, Carrie. Busy place. Wowzer. How do you keep getting back in here, William, right? Troll, guys. I'd be a troll.
Did you know that Professor ended up finding them later on? Did you learn that? Or that was the location that you were driving around with that? Okay, well, we found them. Were you surprised that that was where he was located and you were there recently?
It is best news in a long time. I agree with that, Ronnie. 1000%. Yeah, trolls keep on trolling. It's what they do. They have no lives. Oh, exactly, Jessica. Ooh, look. Oh, they just had a big magnifying glass on that one. Looking in the box with a magnifying glass. Hope I'm not making you guys dizzy bouncing around. It's just like there's interesting stuff all over the place. Wowzer. Here's your paperwork. On we go, boys and girls. Got the video guy. I think that's what he had anyways. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think you should. That'd be so freaking awesome. And there you are. I think you're right, Johnny. Yes, exactly, Carrie. Exactly. You guys, this is just bloody amazing to me. I'm glad today's the day. Subscribe, like, share. Don't forget to hit that bell because we are always streaming at odd times. Oh, that wouldn't surprise me at all, Tony. When Cassie came out with what she had to say, some of the footage that they got of him, and they were going over his property, he just didn't look like he was dealing with it well. Like, well, what do you think, you POS? Yeah. See what else I can find. Give us more options. Okay, I think we've got that one. Let me just see here.
Pull back out on Detroit, turn around and drive away, and then pull back on. Am I right?
Yeah, about time. Good.
Tell me I'm lying. I'm sure you is lying. I'm not lying.
Got it. Now let's go around here. They're not in the driveway right now. All right. All right. We're good. Here, and then I'll go that way.
You know, when the jury sees that,
Look at them all.
here's her story. You know, you showed someone who works for her. Tell us what really happened. You know, that may make a difference in the end. But if you're gonna sit there and just act like you're cold,
Tell you that I've done something that I haven't done. That's what you want me to do.
Lauren, we're seeing dozens and dozens of federal police. I'll give you a look behind me. You can see that van that's in the driveway. That is Diddy's driveway. We've seen dozens of federal agents around that van walking up the driveway. To the left, you can see they have a large command post that's set up here on West Star Island Drive.
So therefore, you want me to.
What happened there? He lost his volume. Not sure what happened there. Look at them all coming in and out of that house.
sticking with this point because it seems like the line of questioning is most likely to get him to confess.
Now we're live right here on the scene. Puff Daddy's house is up the street, and I'm gonna update with whatever comes out here.
Oh, so that girl, I thought she's married. But she was a real court reporter. She was called up and said, hey, it's the county agent. I need a number of a court reporter that can like do this. And they're like, yeah, let's see when he wants to do it. And that was it. There was no other auditions. There was
Look at them all.
Who is this guy? Is he a witness?
Wow, it's huge.
available. And I got this like a little dating and I come around there and back out. So I got some stuff in there. Down to this, so I got one straight. The apartment, just one straight. So I got down to the dating, it was just like a little circle area. But it didn't go anywhere. Houses. Like a circle of the houses. Right. And I got, I got this one.
That's my phone. So I heard, I don't know if it's true, that he was arrested or was in cuffs, but I can't say that that is a for sure thing. It's just one of the streams was saying that. It's going to take a very long time to go through these places. I think they must be waiting for some kind of update because the all the media is set up in one spot. I find this one interesting because they're just loading the stuff in. It's not very clear, but this is from where the media is all set up. California. Wow. Blows me away. Good news, good news, good news. Wow. Looks like some of them are having to go refuel.
I didn't touch them. I didn't bend them. She needed my vehicle. I didn't force her or anything. Yeah.
All righty then. I don't know if I want to watch these particular ones. Oh, that looked interesting. Where'd it go? Where'd it go?
Some stuff that we can say, oh yeah, we see it, and it stops, and it goes. So when you wrap up those little things, those big things, how are you gonna be able to?
It's clearer than the other one.
It's right there, so for you to say you didn't. Did you have to check something on the car? Did you just stop?
What are they going to find, hey? Pretty awesome. Lock them up. Book them, Dano. Book them, Dano. It looks like the helicopters probably went back to get fuel.
So what would you say once they come back with DNA in your car that belongs to her, the blood that's on the side of the car that belongs to her? What would you say to her?
Let me say this, because you're trying to put things in my mind.
No, I'm just saying.
Oh, no, yes, you are. Yes, you are. If there's something on the car, you get back to the child, because this child has never been in my car. You will not find anything from this child in my car. You will not find anything that has to do with Naomi in my car.
Okay, put it.
There's no if. There's no if. Because she's never been in.
Nice, Dandy.
There's no if.
Somebody has to learn.
Okay, you'll find nothing there.
I hope so.
What should we ask the lawyer? Did you say he was a lawyer? That's it. He was somebody. He looked like a lawyer. I don't think he was part of law enforcement.
Look at them all.
Oh, look. A Hollywood tour came through. What's up, man? You got caught up in the back. Hey, what do you guys think of Puff Daddy getting arrested?
Did they already arrest him?
They raided his house. HSI raided his house.
Arrested him yet, right?
Okay. He was detained, I believe.
Oh, okay.
What do you think of HSI raiding Puff Daddy's house?
Do the crime, you gotta do time.
Yeah.
If you're innocent, you're proven guilty.
That's true.
Wow, you guys, it's going crazy around that house. Holy. No one's getting through. Unreal. I'm still looking for different feeds. I like that one fellow, but I don't know if I can trust them to not strike me.
As you grew into an adult and you've seen a different side, like of yourself with God and church and than you were growing up with your mom.
Wow. I'm just like, oh my God. Pretty happy about it. Everybody's pretty much on the same feed right now. And I'm not seeing any press conference or anything along those lines. Raided by the feds. So these are two of his kids. Am I understanding that right?
From earlier today from the helicopter view.
What?
See ya. Here we go. A rep for Homeland Security Investigations. Earlier today, Homeland Security Investigations, New York, executed law enforcement actions as part of an ongoing investigation with assistance from the HSI Los Angeles, HSI Miami, and our local law enforcement partners. We will provide further information as it becomes available. Law enforcement sources tell TMZ this case is being handled out of the Southern District of New York. Reports say this appears to be tied to sex trafficking allegations, which have been levied against Diddy in recent months from different plaintiffs.
You know, when she tore it down and it's like it's gone. And now this.
Fox 11 has posted video that appears to show several individuals in handcuffs near the property, and a couple of them appear to be Diddy's sons, Justin and King Combs. I don't know if you can see there, but that is allegedly his sons, Justin and King Combs, from earlier today from the helicopter view.
Well, well, well. He sunk his battleship. Like I say, it's all pretty much the same helicopter footage. And that AXN, I'm not really comfortable. I don't know them. I don't trust them not to strike me, so two of the sons in handcuffs. He's been raided. Damn straight. Yeah, even ICKED's using the same footage, guys. So it's what we have for now. What do you guys think? Done, Diddy, done. I imagine there's probably going to be action around there. For the evening, I would think, at least. But this was bound to happen. I mean, all the different complaints and charges that have been laid against him, it was bound to happen. Way too many people saying that the stuff that was coming out is truth. And I mean, he's a dangerous guy. He doesn't give two shites about who he burns and who he just doesn't care about nobody but himself and his 210 kids, which I'm sure he doesn't truly give two issues about either, to be honest. Just wow, guys. Justice for all the girls that crossed his path. Yes. I like that, Tony. I like that a lot. Do you think he'll buy his way free? I don't think so. That Eben vomit didn't. I think he'd take the same route as like the Eben monster. Night Night Martha. That's what I think, given the chance. Given the chance, I think that's exactly what he would do. These guys are cowards. Yeah, you're right, Sarah. Equal justice for the minor boys as well. He's a gross human. He disgusts me in every way possible. Not enough money in the world to ever make me befriend someone like that. Is that the same one we're watching there? Yeah. I just think this is the best possible thing. We needed a win. We've been having, I mean, all these cases with the kids, and this is a win. Lock him up. Take away his money. Take away his passport. Yes. Exactly. Exactly. Mexi, do you want to jump up here with me? Just let me know and I'll send you the link in Discord. Mexi. Oh, yeah. Yep, that's right, Tony. And some of the things I've seen and heard, oh my. Fry on that alone. There we go. Oh, right. Damn, I forgot, Mexi. No problem. I forgot. Jesus, Lord Murphy. Those people need to get a life. Yeah, there's victims everywhere from this piece of shit. I have a hard time, like, they make me mad. They bring out, like, real strong anger in me, people like this. Where I tend to curse a little bit more because they're junk. There's not one bit of anything that's decent in someone like this. Not one thing that is decent. And sadly, I mean, were his kids saved from this? I mean, he had those twin daughters. Let alone the boys. Was he teaching them the ways of the trade? How to behave? Quite the role model. Okay, where are they getting this feed? Let's see if I can get it different. And all those people standing around there, and like, where is their where's their info?
Diddy? Are some of his associates intertwined with this? We just don't know those details right now.
Wow.
All right, if you guys are watching on Getter, please switch over.
Oh, Lordy. Well, I did hear mention of it, but I am not sure if they've made any kind of moves. It's bizarre. Like, I'm not seeing They're all over this place. Unreal. Jeez. Place is huge. Wow. I know I keep saying it, but it's like, damn. Homeland Security kicking in the doors. So I'm not sure if they handcuffed him or not, to be honest with you. I don't know the answer to that. Oh, there's mothers all over the place. This guy's got more kids than frickin' mice in one hatching. Oh, if anything happened to those kids, good God. His own? Oh, Lord. But the way he treated women, there's nothing cool about him. Yes, they should. They should be all over that place. I couldn't agree more. So yeah, I keep looking here to see if there's another view. And CNN seems to, but it doesn't.
With the dog, whatever, and then it's like, okay, now let's do the painting. We just did the puzzle for the race, now let's do this. Sure enough, that dog, we're sitting there talking, laughing, talking about new movies, we're watching.
Oh, is it the same? It is the same one. That one's clearer.
I think that's what he's used to, is having background noise. For me, I can sit here all day with not a piece. But he always has to have some kind of background noise, which I didn't mind because the trailers were cool. And he was interested in showing them to me, getting excited about movies that were out or upcoming. So in your laptop, and then it was. You said it was a good day. Like you guys didn't have any conversations about your relationship. You guys didn't go down like the rabbit hole, like had too many to drink, and you guys started getting. No, when I tell you this, they made me so happy that he actually listened to what I had to say. With just, we'll get through it. This will be fine. It's a small hurdle that you and I together will get through. Because you're talking about the money, job, stress. Yes. Nothing relationship-wise though. Like no issues. Like did you guys have a conversation about your relationship, or was it just about just like what's going on right now? I try to evoke it from him so he gets it off his chest, because because I called him the volcano, where eventually he's going to be left. Right. And what he is learning his classes is to communicate, which is a huge thing in a relationship. Right. Where he has
No volume. Actually, I like this. I'm going to bring you over here. This just seems to be a little clearer. But we're not getting any volume. Oh my God, guys. Can you hear Sarah Boone in the background? Really?
Is there any chance it got to be too much for you and you couldn't handle taking care of him? And I never stopped, Rena. I never stopped. That's what I'm here for.
Wow. That place is huge.
I'm here now and I'm still trying to help him. Yeah, we just don't, I mean, it's unexplainable how we got these injuries, and I had no idea you were the only one with him. 100% right hand to God. I have no idea how he got them. Nobody touched anybody. Nobody touched anybody. You had mentioned that you take photos, videos, kind of like a cruise and in general. Yeah, just documenting at one point. So that was.
Can you imagine having these guys kick in your door? No, thank you. No, thank you.
You don't have a choice in it. You have to go see your probation officer. You have to go to these hospitals.
Unreal.
Where it took them a while to get used to it and understand. They're not messing around.
Oh, I think so too. Yeah, I absolutely think so. I can't get over the size of that place. Sarah is cringy. Like, look at the size of that. What the hell? Why do you need a place like that? Like, are you kidding me? I guess. Unreal.
And we would look over his papers together. We're like, wow, you actually are learning this in class? And some of the stuff that they would show them, like videos, he would come home and say, here, I'll show you what I've done to you. Because for a video that he watches, to make him feel that way, or it's like, oh man, I have done her wrong. But he changed. He changed. I'm not going to show it. Even though he's done all these things to you. And when I tell you I love him, I love him.
Who doesn't have, who doesn't have it?
Everybody tells me that. Oh my goodness, tell me that. Oh, there's no property manager.
At some point, somebody gets enough.
Blows me away. Best news we could have gotten. I think you're probably right. I think you're probably right. Wow. Well, can you imagine? Yeah, can you imagine? Like, oh, shite. Hey, Jonathan. Oh, it is crazy. I mean, I knew it was coming, but I'm just finding it very interesting. Can you imagine how long? Oh, it is about time. I agree. Yes, that's right. Yeah, I agree. It's nice to have you back, P9. And it's all, they get this power tripping thing because they've got money. Like, give me a break. You guys sit in the toilet the same way everybody else does. Like, you're no different. Actually, you're a monster. In my opinion, he's a complete monster. Yeah. They always think they're above the law. I sure hope so, Sarah. I really do. We know that they've got both sides of the coast. And if there is actually a place in New York, I can't see why there wouldn't be, because like I say, everybody's got a place in New York. I would have thought they would have gone after it at the same time. Oh, you're probably right. What was I thinking? Oh my God. The thing is too, with all that cash, they start to threaten more than just verbally. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, it makes total sense. I bet you when we wake up in the morning, they're doing the same damn thing. Wow. I just can't get over the size of these places. Like, who else lives here? Like, look at all those spots. I think he's the hip hop version of Ebinator. Piece of Ebonshite. Ebonshite. Wouldn't surprise me, Thor, not at all. Not at all. I have no desire to have never-ending amounts of cash. I mean, the vacations would be fun. But there's a lot of massive, massive headaches and messed up people with the big bucks. Yeah. It doesn't impress me. Now, if you're a decent human, I'd be happy for you. But this isn't a decent human. I don't even think this guy's human. You ever see his black eyes? You can see straight to his empty soul. A Lamborghini or 12. That's true. Yeah. To do what they had to do to get it. Yeah, just enough to live comfy. That's right. I could see him being a reptilian overlord. He's got those slithery, like, frickin' eyes. You know how I feel about these kind of pigs. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah. I can't help it. Like, this guy's like a piece of frickin' crap. Like, I've been waiting for this, like I said, like, for a long time. I mean, curl him up into a little nard and flush him down the frickin' toilet. There's nothing good about this guy. Nothing. Evil to the frickin' core. Yeah. Have you seen this guy? Like, his eyes are so black that it's just like, oh, buddy, don't look at me with those fricked up eyes. Rather, I don't want anything to do with this piece of shit. There is that, Thor. You're exactly right. That's right. I think you're right, Dandy. Diddy's going to be chilling with the what do I want to call him? Puke stain. There we go. Shite stain. Shite stain. Puke stain. And there was, that Kim Porter was loyal to him. I don't know what the attraction could possibly have been, but there was one, I guess. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Some people just give off that energy, and you don't even have to be in the same building or state or even country to know that they're nothing but bad. That's what they say, Tony. Yep. Yeah, that's what they say. Right? Mask drop, and there were the eyes. I know when I get like really pissy, my eyes, well, they're fairly dark brown, so like my eyes go black. But I have to be mad for that to happen. It's not just their natural shade of pissed off black. It's true, P9. I think it's going to be interesting for the next little while because I think stuff's just going to start to get spilled. More and more and more tea's going to come out. Or that, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I have an extremely hard, actually, it's impossible for me to have one good word about this guy. There's just not any good words out there for him, is there? 50 Cent's gonna love this, right? Yeah, 50 Cent's gonna like this a lot. Yeah, it looks like a lot of the live has kind of backed off, and it's got this one feed for us. Anybody else want to jump up here and chit chat with me? Tony, do you want to jump up here with me? Are they really? The Beckhams are gonna? Oh, good Lord. Chopper. I put a link in there for you in the description here, and you click it. I'll show you right now. So I'm going to put it in here, and it's just for Tony. So that link I put in, just click that, and I'll do the rest. Click the link, Tony. Watch your potty mouth. You don't have to be on a cell. You don't have to be on a cell. It's just going to bring you up here. Click the link, Tony. Lordy, lordy, man. Come on. As long as you've got a microphone, I got you. Hey, Chooch. Right? Everyone's going, Tony, Tony, click the link, Tony, Tony, click the link. Chooch even came in and said, click the link, Tony. If not, Chooch, grab onto it. Doing good. How you doing? Hey, ladies. Click the freaking link, Maxie says. Come on up and we'll talk P. Diddy. Click it. I clicked it, still waiting. It didn't show you clicked it. I'll do it again. It's only one click away. Okay. I'll do it again. Click the link. Let's try this again, friend. Click. Well, you guys are doing okay. Click, click, click. Click your heels together 3 times. They got both sides. They got LA and Miami at the same time. So I'm not sure where they're flying away from right now. There we are. There we are. Give me 2 seconds. Yeah, they're flying away. Here I come. Hey, Tony. Tony. Do you have anything to speak into? Yeah, they're flying away. Turn on your microphone or plug it in or however ever that works. He just ditched me. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. Almost. Are you there, mister? Tony. And they removed our stream, so I'll look for something else while we're figuring this part out. Ooh. Bad noise. Bad noise. Okay, let's do this. We lost Tony. It is. Oh, Tony. So this here is the Miami home. Somebody kidnapped Tony. It's okay. We can figure this out. Not a big rush. I'm just going to see if there's any other feeds.
I don't get that. Because you're growing up, the fact that he's choking you, you can't breathe. That's how you felt when he cheated on you, you couldn't breathe. And you verbally several times told him, fuck you.
Them finding what they made entry for. So this is a methodical, lengthy process. And again, this is taking place right here in Holmby Hills, as well as his Miami home. And I'm sure law enforcement officials from both sides in Miami and LA are certainly talking to each other as they go through this as well. But still no sign of Sean Combs himself. We don't know where he is. It's not clear if they're looking for him. He may be in New York, as Haley was mentioning on the ground there. But clearly, this was in all a very peaceful raid as they made entry, and right now as they are making their way in and out of the property as they conduct their search. But a search that is just beginning, as you see those suits, the investigators taking their time, making sure everything is done properly and methodically in terms of what they're looking for at this point. Again, we have a lot of questions that we just don't know the answers to at this point. We do have someone on the line right now, Hal Kemper. Thank you so much for joining us. And if you can make light of what we're looking at in terms of Homeland Security making entry into the Holmby Hills mansion of Sean Combs.
Sandra, this is a Homeland Security Investigations that appears to be on site. What they're probably looking for is, well, I should say in general, they look at human trafficking and sex trafficking being a component of that. And of course, there's been some rather big civil suit stuff that's taken place, but also the New York case where the statute of limitations basically had been rescinded, allowing them to look back many years in this case. Part of it was there have been allegations that he was drugging young women, so that there was which certainly implies that it was rape that had taken place at some point. But I think what HSI is probably looking at is the interstate aspects of it, if there was any online activity that could have taken place. And that's usually where HSI would have a jurisdictional interest. Homeland Security Investigations being part of the Department of Homeland Security, looking at the interstate side, mostly online, and whatever took place across state lines. And of course, he travels all over the place. So I'm sure they're looking at him potentially transporting women around the country, and whether that was tied to a larger criminal activity.
Yeah, definitely Homeland Security involved in any interstate, as you mentioned, and international criminal activity here. So what exactly do you think everyone is looking for at this point? We saw such a large number of law enforcement make entry.
Well, it's a combination of both local and federal. And from what I understand, the local law enforcement has the specific lead at each one of these locations, with the federal federal investigators coming in with them in concert. What they're probably looking for is any evidence that they can gather, certainly any images, pictures, video, anything online. I have no doubt that they're going in and gathering up any electronic media, to include any laptops, any flash drives, anything that he might have that might support whatever allegations, whatever reasonable suspicion that they have that led to these search warrants. Just to get a search warrant like this requires a rather a certain substantial legal barrier has to be, our legal argument or legal litmus test has to be met just to get them to sign off. Particularly knowing with somebody with means like this, that if they go into their home, they're going to be met with some very capable lawyers on the defendant's part to challenge what was ever done, and everything they do there is going to be challenged. So you can imagine, not only did they have to work with the district attorney and potentially assistant U.S. attorneys in arranging this, but they also are being very careful on how they're gathering any evidence, realizing that just about everything they do on site will potentially be challenged in court by his attorneys.
Absolutely. And speaking of his attorneys, we did reach out for comment. We have not yet heard back. Obviously, we want to hear his side. For Sean Combs' part, he has denied any allegations regarding sex trafficking and any investigation into that. But yeah, this could take a lot of time in terms of collecting that hard drive and flash drives and any computers they may find. Like I was mentioning before, Hal, it's very difficult to know where someone would have that or would hide that if they were trying to hide evidence. And we're looking at a big mansion here. Before we get back to you, Hal, let's go to Haley on the ground there.
Hey, Sandra. Yes, we just got that statement from the Department of Homeland Security that I was trying to get for you guys about 10 minutes ago. It doesn't say a whole lot, but it says this is attributed to Homeland Security investigations. Earlier today, Homeland Security Investigations New York executed law enforcement actions as part of an ongoing investigation with assistance from HSI Los Angeles, HSI Miami, and our local law enforcement partners. We will provide further information as it becomes available. So nothing really that we haven't already told you. Here on the scene, on the ground, a lot of the law enforcement officers with Homeland Security have gone up the hill. You can see one of those big command vehicles coming out, one of those police vehicles. In the meantime, behind us, several of his friends, they've identified themselves as, have been trying to get through the crime scene to get to the house. But of course, LAPD not letting them through. We've tried to get comment from them on camera to find out if they have any more information about what's going on, but they haven't been able to they don't want to provide us any information, I should say. And just in case you're just joining us, we have homes of P. Diddy being raided on both coasts, Miami and his home here in Holmby Hills.
So, Haley, just to clarify, in that statement, it didn't mention Sean Combs, correct? Or anything?
It doesn't, but we have confirmation from multiple law enforcement sources that this does involve Sean Combs or P. Diddy. But no, this statement, I'll read it one more time, says earlier today, Homeland Security Investigations New York executed law enforcement actions as part of an ongoing investigation with assistance from both HSI Los Angeles, HSI Miami, and our local law enforcement partners.
All right.
We'll provide further information as it becomes available. Of course, we're trying to get them to talk to us on camera, but they said the lady in particular who sent me the statement says she's not allowed to.
Thank you so much. Yeah, not really clarifying a whole lot, though, but clearly understandable because right now, maybe they're not in position to divulge any more information. So let's bring in Hal Kemper.
Okay, we'll take another look over here. Because we have pretty much taken a good look at everything so far. We'll try again to do a chit chat thing, Tony. I think it should be pretty easy. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. You would think that there would be a lot more out there than always surprises me. I'm sure there's going to be more tonight, I would think, right? Looking. See if there's anything else we can look at. Well, pretty stoked, guys. Pretty stoked. I don't think that we're going to find anything right now, but maybe in a little bit when they maybe they'll start giving some pressers. I wish I had wings, man. I'd be all over the place.
But the point is, you left the living room where he was begging for help and went upstairs. Regardless of how long you were there, you left.
So my guess is he's going to have a shite whack of charges coming at him. I was hoping they would, but I'm not seeing anything on a press conference yet, friend. Oops.
Well, based off the video, one video is at 11:12 and the next one 11:23. So you actually gave him at least 11 minutes per video recording. So my thing is, when it stops.
Yep, lock him up. Lock his sorry arse up. Let him go to jail and find himself a frickin' dance partner. Is Diddy done? Is he finally done? I hope he's done. Done like flipping dinner. Go rot in a dark, dark hole. So I think, guys, probably what I'll do is I am not seeing anything else right now. Oh, well said. Oh, I bet you're right. Can you imagine? They're going to be searching for days. Weeks. Oh my God. So guys, I'm going to keep my eyes peeled for new footage. And this footage that I'm using here, I don't want to get... yeah, or years. I'm not quite sure about this stream here that I'm using, so I won't take a chance on it. But I am going to pop around some more, and if anything else comes up, we're going to be over it. Because, yeah, this dirtbag's got to go. So thanks for joining me. We almost got you on panel, Tony. We'll work at it next time I see you. because I'm sure we could have interesting conversations. Okay, guys, I appreciate you. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. I'll see you guys soon in the next one.